Hi, everybody. It's November 30th, Sunday. And I thought of something yesterday I seen on a video on Facebook about this guy's leaving his parents' house and he's kind of like in this wooded area. And it's dark and everything. And it's like a long driveway going out. I should have saved it. But you can see people. It's like on the screen of the Tesla, whatever the screen that they're using technology, you can actually see people so he's driving along there and there's people just all over. It looks like a mall. When you go to a mall and there's all these people around, there's like all these people coming up, even in the road in front of his car. And then this camera also works on the back of his car because it shows his car going through. And the video I seen showed him. He was like actually running over these people, but on the other end of the car, it's like they're still standing up or getting back. Did they get up or something to that effect where the computer catches them and they're walking away? So what I'm serious about is when he stopped, the beings were going towards the car, but he couldn't see anything on the outside of his car. So this is what's interesting. Could they have created something that's right in front of our eyes that we haven't really picked up on? Or there's some people, because there's videos out there, like this one's Tesla picks up ghost on their monitor. So this guy's going through a cemetery, and there's all these beings walking around. See how it shows his car, the car he's in, that's it. And then all these beings are walking all over. Now, let me go back and show you another one. Where'd it go? Here's another one. Let's check this one out. So there's a cemetery right there, but it shows like a mother okay, see how they're going to a cemetery? There's two there. I just caught that. There's two gravestones, and it looks like there's two people there. But he got out of the car and there's nobody there. Isn't this interesting? Because it makes me think about how the dead rises up first before the living, and the living rises up afterwards. So the dead in Christ rise up first. So let's look at that. Dead in Christ rise up first. No, I don't know every Bible verse. The dead in Christ rise first is a phrase in the Bible's New Testament, specifically one that I can't say the names. The Thessalonians. Okay, described a future event known as the rapture. What we're looking for. It means when Jesus returns, believers who have already died will be resurrected first, and then those who are still alive will be caught up to meet the Lord in the air. This event is described as a source of comfort, assuring believers that those who died in faith will not miss out on the future glory of meeting Christ. Very interesting, right? So when we look at this, and when people are seeing, like ghosts and everything, they're not ghosts. It's when people die, they're not going anywhere. They're just hanging out. And when I look at this and I see how people's reactions to us in the real life, to how they go to the car, they go up to other people that that are alive and stuff, but they can't communicate, but they can see us. Isn't that interesting? But we can't see them. But here we have a technology. Isn't that interesting? A technology that's right in front of our face that can actually see everybody in their spirit walking around. So when we go back to this verse, now it makes sense. The dead in Christ will rise first. So when they rise, we go next. So all these people are not how they say that they went to heaven, because they haven't went to heaven, because we can't go to heaven until Christ returns. Isn't that wild? Because you notice that when people go to funerals and say, oh, they went to heaven, they're happier, that now they're happier in heaven. Could you imagine those that are passed away and everything? If they're able to see us, if they're able to hear us, they're probably like freaking out going, no, we're still here until the time Jesus returns. So, and I mention that because of the lies and deception of the church. Like, let's go to Israel. Remember I was telling you in Israel, let's see if I can find that. Genesis, Jacob, new name, mighty angel. Let's see if that will, whoops. Yeah, in the book of Genesis, Jacob's new name is Israel. Not my, yeah. Named by the mighty angel. Oops, gotta get rid of D. God changed Jacob's name to Israel after he wrestled with the divine being throughout the night. The angel declared, your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Israel, for you have struggled with God, with men, and prevailed, and have prevailed. The name Israel is often interpreted as meaning he struggled with God, or God prevails. Very interesting, right? Because in 1948, the deep state, where Israel is now, created Israel. Now, again, it's even written in the book, so that's why I get mad at the pastors and preachers, because how they go, we support Israel, we'll do this because Israel is God's holy land and everything. It's not true. Now, Jacob is in a vision when this is all happening. And so the mighty angel renames him Israel. I is for iron, the blood. Staff is our DNA. Ra, how they refer as the sun god, but it's radium and means radiant or bright. So Jacob is bright enough to find out where El is the name of God, resides. And he told us that, and so Jacob wakes from his vision, and he calls this place, he goes, surely God dwells in this land. And so he calls it the land of Penal, Penal. Well, the land of Penal is like a parable. It's our pineal gland, right? It's the honey. The door that gets to God is a golden door. The honey is a golden color. So Israel, Holy Land, is within the body, because the body is made in God's image. The church is built in our temple. Oh, let's pull up a, I don't know, my face or something. That would probably make it better. So let's find another image to make it better. Come on. I know all these images. See, this is how I know that the temple is the body. So you can even see in this image right here, I mean, this is why I think God is actually showing all these images and everything's coming out on my body. Because when I told you on October 19, 2020, when I was at God's feet, I was in a vision with God. And it's kind of interesting how we can piece things together when we attend God's church. We have to go within to get to God. And here they have us all looking out here, praising the land and worshiping a big black box or a stone wall or statues of Jesus or churches built by man's hands and breath, when God created our body with his hands and his breath in his image. So the body, the temple, the Last Supper up in the upper room, here's the heart down here. The upper room is up here in the temple mind. Right in the center is where Jesus would sit, and then there'd be 6 apostles on one side and 6 on the other side, and Jesus is the 13th. So right in the center of the brain. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so again, Israel is the blood, kind of like a bloodline. And this world tricks us, so we're feeding this deep state beast that both the Democrats and Republicans are part of it. All the world leaders, when they created this back in 1948, I do believe by the Rockefellers and all those people. So, and then, you've got all the preachers and the pastors, telling you, and even Florida now put on their new license plate, they have the Israel logo, the Star of David, and they have on the bottom, we support Israel, we stand with Israel. Again, it's not a land, it's Jacob's new name. It's Jacob's new name because Jacob was bright enough, his bloodline, his DNA, it was so radiant to find his way to God because he asked, he knocked, and he seeked, what we're supposed to be doing. Call my name and I'll be there, because God's already built into our system. That's how God knows everything that we're doing, because it's kind of like at the top of our forehead, a recorder of everything going on. Just because when we look at our forehead, all we see is skin. But I was telling you, like on some of these images, there's like an aura, or what do you call that? My aura field or whatever, magnetic field. There's like a hologram or something that seems like sometimes that is projected on me. But anyway, it's very interesting. To get to God, you've got to go within. To go within means you have to, like, it's mentioned 34 times in the Holy Book of meditation, or being quieting your mind. Well, I don't know if it says quiet or quiet your mind. That's kind of, we look at that as some other terms like the chakra system. But the chakra system is very important because it's the ultraviolet colors that goes down. They're also energy centers, known as our, kind of like our chi, the rising up of our chi. When we rise up our chi, it's a form of rising up our Christos, which is the spinal fluid that goes all the way up to the top of your head, up into the house of God, kind of like thing. It's a healing form. And our spine, the spinal fluid, the spine is our tree. It's the branch that holds us together. The foundation, pretty much, the connection of the head and the body. So anyway, I know I kind of went off there a lot, but I think it's very important that we need to look at what's being shown to us, what we can see, the technology that's already being used, and understand biblically, now that we're in this time of, rapture and waiting for God to return, is to understand that the dead is still living and the dead is still here. Wild, right?